3, 2.
Welcome to cabomilnews and Community Update in English. This is Corey Riggs along with Claudia Velo. Today is September 25th, and we are recording this for our show on September 27th, Sunday at 6 p.m. You can always follow us on Facebook Live or Cabomil 96.3 FM, Sundays at 6 p.m. Claudia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? I'm excited. I'm practicing the last name of our guest because I remember the lesson.
I know. I was practicing it also. We were practicing it before our guest got on, and we have a great show today. We'll get to our guests in a moment. And I wanted to let you know, Claudia, last week we had Gabby Gutierrez from Banca Mifel, and she is the vice president. I believe it's vice president of the Finance Association here.
She's the secretary of the EMIF. Yes.
Sorry, Gabby, I know she's probably watching. So she's the secretary, but she let me know that her interview was put on the national IMEF page. So our interview went national about the exchange rates.
Now.
Nice for her.
We're getting very famous. So wanted to let everybody know that. It's a great interview. Check it out from last week. And Claudia, before we get to our guest, tell us what's going on in the news. What's happening right now?
Well, we're still at level 4. On Friday, which is when we're recording, there will be an announcement stating that we are in fact staying at level 4 again for another week. And this has to do with the parameters that are measured when they decide which level we're at. This was issued by the State Department of the U.S. and it very clearly explains what everything is based on. And it says, the Mexican government continues to use the national stoplight system introduced on June 1st to gradually phase in additional economic activities in different states and municipalities of Mexico. The 4 metrics to determine the colors in the Mexican government stoplight system are the trend in numbers of new cases, hospital occupancy trends, current hospital occupancy rates, and the percentage of positive cases. And that put together is what decides, that helps authorities decide which level we're in. As we know, Bajacaliforniasur has 6 levels rather than just 4 as the rest of the country. And we're still in what is level 4. So more activities, but still people are asked to stay at home as much as possible and of course maintain social distancing. Good news also for this week is that American Airlines is going to be introducing flights to Laredo and La Paz in October. And also several airlines, including Delta and Eastern, apparently Eastern will finally start the flights. But we're going to have more flights coming in from New York later during the fall and winter. So those are good news because we will have more visitors that will then again help pick up the economy. And that was something that the Secretary of Tourism, Lisa Araiza, announced, is that Baja California Sur is the state that is recovering fastest in terms of tourism in the country. So good news.
No, it's great to see. I was actually on a boat last night. I was on a sailboat, and it's great because there's lots of people going out on the boats, and you just can feel there's things are opening up. And went out to a restaurant, and it's nice to see. And so we're happy that's happening in Los Cabos. And it's nice to see, I know I have a lot of friends in New York City and they are ready to get out. So it's nice that there's flights directly here. And this is where everyone should come. So we're open for business. But let's get into our interview, and we're very excited. Cynthia Wickerink is here with us today. And did I say it correctly?
You absolutely did, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so very exciting. I have to say, when I first came to Los Cabos in 2008, and I was executive director of Los Cabos Children's Foundation, one of the first people I met was Cynthia Wickerink, and she was running Liga Mac at the time. And I have to say, Cynthia was really a mentor to me. She taught me about the nonprofit world here. She's been involved for many years. Her and her husband, Jim, moved to Los Cabos full-time in 1999. And you were actually even married here in the Palmilla Chapel in 1981. Is that correct, Cynthia?
Yes, we were. I mean, it's been our adopted home many, many years before we moved here. Actually, in total, we've been coming here since 1977. So it's been 40 years of association and kind of a love fest with Los Cabos. So of course, it wasn't Los Cabos at the time. It was San Jose del Cabo. I think it was barely a state at that time. So
oh my gosh.
yes, I've had the great good fortune of seeing all of the transitions of this area and coming to it when it was just pretty raw and natural and just a beautiful little community.
Well, we're very excited to have you on. You've done so much for this community with your time with Liga Mac and just other support that you've given. And then also you got involved with International Community Foundation, which has been a huge part of what we've done with the Community Alliance. And we'll talk a little bit about that more. But just Cynthia, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here. And just, we want to talk to you about what you've seen over the years, the changes, and then we want to get into all your work that you've done with the different associations. Well,
I'm honored. Thank you very much. I'm not sure what I got myself into here, but I'm happy to help whenever I can, as you know.
We'll be easy on you.
I don't know the word no, obviously.
No, it will be like a conversation.
No, I love this. I mean, experience on the radio together. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Years
exactly.
ago. I think when there was two worlds that I knew here. The world of like I said, San Jose del Cabo and Cabosanlucas in the early days, when we were camping on the beach in Costa Azul, and my husband was surfing, and no lights in town, and all the lights we had were these incredible stars in the sky. And we fell in love with the place, and we knew it was our beach town. We lived in Park City, Utah, which is a ski town, and we had businesses there and an incredible life there. And we actually saw parallel growth between the small town of Park City and the small town and the area of Los Cabos, which was amazing at the time. And we knew that eventually we wanted to be here. I grew up in Southern California, not exactly on the beach, but a beach girl dating surfers and traveling to Mexico early on. And my husband, actually from Michigan, ended up in Hawaii, so then San Diego, and we both met in Park City. So anyway, we had a beautiful life there, businesses there, but Cabo was, from that first trip, was always part of our life. And it was a very, very unique and beautiful little community, very kind of self-sufficient is the only way I could put it. It was, people weren't necessarily super rich or super poor, but they got along and they had what they needed, and it was so pleasant to be here. We filled up our water when we were camping from the faucets in town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Yeah.
So being here all of that time, and then moving here, finally being able to get together, we built a house, we made some investments, so we changed our complete life and came here in '99. Little did we know that just around the corner, this place was going to explode. I mean, we'd watched the development, we'd watched the growth, but it was basically from, around 2000, it was on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew, I'm not very good at retirement. My husband is, I'm not. That I would find a project and I would find a way to become involved in the community. I had a deep desire to be involved in the community. I didn't want to just live here. I just didn't want to live like I was on vacation. This was my new home, and I wanted to make a life out of it. And so I had some friends that were already involved in Liga Mac, and I was encouraged. I don't know if you know Tally Childers, which is very encouraging, to come in and check it out and volunteer. And they've been going for a while.
For those who don't know what Liga Mac is, because
let me tell you, Liga Mac stands for League of Mexican American and Canadian, and that was a big attraction to me. That it was an integration of the three communities of the area at that time and a cultural connection. It was beautiful that way. They were at that time grassroots, neighbors helping neighbors, literally. And the thing that attracted me also to Liga Mac and continued through the years was that instead of just going out and deciding what this community needed, and how they were going to fix it. They let the community come to them and talk to them and tell them about their needs, and then they figured out how to take care of them, how to fix it, and they, you know, were working slowly to develop different programs and exactly how to do all that. I could go on and on for hours about what it was like, you know, in the early days. But
Yeah,
needless to say,
something that is very, very, very important to point out. Liga Mac allowed the community to express their needs. It was different from a lot of other movements of the civilized world coming to explain what needed to be done. So that's something that helped the local community embrace Liga Mac.
Right. I was very impressed with that, and you know, things were just changing fast then. There hadn't been there's always some need, and they could have gone out and helped at any time. People that, you know, get in trouble, they have accidents, people get sick or whatever. But what we saw was a lot more need coming to the area with this rapid growth. I mean, the growth was faster than I think any community could handle. The population exploding that way, especially when there had been a lot of development, a lot of planning for how to do the development area, the corridor, and new buildings, but not a lot of planning on what do we do with all of these extra people now that are going to need our services. They're going to need some place to live, and that, you know, I mean, there was at the time people coming in the early days just with bags of clothes because they'd heard there's work in Cabo and that there's something they can do. And so we were just at that time, you know, we were filling the needs, we're filling the gaps, you know, and nonprofits do that. They fill in the gaps, the things that the community, that the government can't take care of and systems can't take care of. We fill in the gaps. So it was a beautiful organization. It still is.
Yeah, and it's still going. And I think that one of the keys is Liga Mac and the inspiration behind the Liga Mac and what you just said about the Mexican, the Canadian, and the American culture coming together was really the foundation of what we worked on in this community alliance. We saw a huge need, brought everyone together, and exactly. But the work that you did, Cynthia, and a lot of other people.
Oh my God, so many people.
Really helped give us a foundation to be able to do this community alliance. And obviously you were also involved with that with International Community Foundation, and what we'll talk about that in a minute.
With the Food Security Alliance.
But one of the things
you know, it was just amazing to be involved in an organization that grew with the town, that grew with the needs, that served those needs. The women that were involved, I can't say enough about. They were just amazing people. It was an amazing time in town. You know, we had a lot of expats living here part-time. The Canadians have their schedule that they have to do, but you know, there's just the amount of willingness to give back to the community, to work together, was just so enriching in my life, and became, as you know, a huge part of my life, a big focus in my life, and dedication. But it was brought on by the people I worked around, the people that I was with, and also by the community that we have, the resilience. And I know that you guys have seen this also, of the people that we would serve and the people we would help. They're just, their heart and their resilience to make their lives better, to do better, to find ways to, I mean, our motto for Liga Mac at that time was called Mano con Mano, which meant hand in hand. And a lot of what we did was about providing opportunity, you know, not just here, take this and go away and be better. I mean, we did a lot of advocacy work with people in the healthcare. And then, of course, we started in 2004, I think it was. I might have this date wrong. Don't quote me on this stuff. Somebody will correct me. The ACE program, the scholarship program that took off incredibly because of the support of the community, and now is the main focus. What I understand.
It's great. It's great. And the other thing, Cynthia, that is very foundational was just the volunteerism that Liga Mac, as this town increased, in size and complexity, you guys install with Liga Mac really this culture of volunteerism. And that really, again, helped us with the Community Alliance, getting all these volunteers. People were used to volunteering. Can you talk a little bit about that? And just, it was incredible to see. Liga Mac was really what taught the rest of us how to get people involved.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were really good at, you know, with their fundraising, because you got to remember back in those days, fundraising was pretty basic. You know, we were not, you know, the town wasn't real sophisticated, period. Like, you know, Los Cabos, because we basically went from barely being a state for how many years to this massive influx of everything. And so it didn't really attract a lot of national nonprofits yet, because the population wasn't big enough and it wasn't even known that was going to happen. So getting funding and finding ways, this group of women they were incredible at creating the bookstore, oh my God, which became a part of the community.
Yeah.
And they started with their luncheons and fashion shows, and it just grew and grew and grew until we were doing still those incredible jazz fests and getting support. Now the town grew as far as the availability for more opportunity for donations. But I think that what Liga Mac was really good at is they created situations where people could chip in, could come in and help. They had situations that offered that opportunity for volunteerism. And even if there was, you know, some language barriers, they found ways around it. And like I said, we just had a really inspiring group of women that started language classes for the kids, and they started this beautiful ALAS program for the girls, and just on and on. And so it did, though, I think, help spread that feeling in the community, and I think also in the Mexican community, that you could come and help and be a part of something and actually make a difference. You know, it was going to go somewhere, and it was going to help someone, and something was going to happen. So.
And one of the most beautiful events, I love the Christmas event when everyone would bring gifts, and it's incredible.
That was yes. And you know, once again, you know, Shops Upon Me. I mean, just like what you've just experienced with the Community Alliance, just businesses available, other, you know, generous donors, just individuals, also willing to lend a hand, however that had to look or needed to look, to help move forward these programs. And again, I think a lot of it comes from the ability to show that the energy, the effort, and the money was actually doing something, that it was going somewhere, that it was making a difference. I mean, once you have the confidence of the people, and all of us in nonprofit know this, you know, whenever there's a nonprofit that's not legitimate, or, you know, does things that aren't quite right, it hurts all of us. Because, you know, we need the confidence of the public, we need the confidence of the donors, and I think we helped build that, along with many nonprofits at that time.
Absolutely.
I mean, Amigos de los Niños, the Humane Society was doing amazing things. I'm gonna not say enough, but there were some great concrete groups, and then Children's Foundation showed up, and really early on, the reason why I eventually ended up working with International Community Foundation, they were the first international foundation to come into Cabo, you know, and start helping the nonprofits get more organized, you know, get more, get their ducks in a row, and really, you know, do educational things, and also bring the opportunity to get that 501c3 capability to the donors, which is a huge game changer for all of us. You know, once we could get more money, because there was the confidence of the American donor, because, you know, what ICF vets, all these organizations, it was a huge bonus to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a huge difference when people know they can get a tax receipt in the U.S., and that's a great thing that ICF does for a lot of these foundations. How long? I know you were with Liga Mac about 10 years in the leadership, and and then you transitioned to ICF. How long were you with ICF? Are you still
I was with
ICF?
ICF. I just actually have an official retirement in January, but I was with them for 5 years. Well, actually, I was with them for 6 years. The first year, I helped form the Food Security Alliance. We were the very beginning. Then Ann McEnany, who is our fearless leader now, but also came and recruited me to help do some work with them. And then eventually that turned into, we came up with the idea of having a field rep here, that someone that could personally attend to all the nonprofits, because we had so many in the region, you know, not just here, but La Paz to Los Santos, you know, the whole region. So yes, that was very, and the one thing that I'm still involved with after my retirement is the Food Security Alliance. So I'm just an advisor.
It cracks me up that you say you retired, because I was at your retirement party in January, and I have not seen you retire at all. You've still been involved.
I really have.
It's a new concept of retirement.
Trust me, I am not doing as much. Of course, I don't know, what I would have done through this whole COVID thing. It's been quite interesting watching everybody scramble and try and refocus and get their feet on the ground and stay stable during these times. I'm concerned about our nonprofits. You know, it's difficult without the fundraisers, and I see so many being so creative, you know, with what they can do online and try and stay connected to their donors.
One of the things we've seen, and one of the things we're talking about with the Bajacaliforniasur Community Alliance right now, is how we're transitioning into what's happening next. I mean, we've been giving out dispensas. I think it's over, Cloudy, correct me if I'm wrong, but 215,000 dispensas have been given out.
It's amazing what you guys did. Yeah.
It's incredible. Over $5.3 million raised. And it's just been an incredible way to keep the community safe, to get over this hump. But now, what's next, and what are we going to do with all this energy? It's not going to end. We're transitioning now to this Food Security Alliance that you just mentioned, but also the other big key you just mentioned as well is what's happening with all these nonprofits who got involved with the Community Alliance, but now have not been able to fundraise. And what are we going to do? And so we're right now working the El Dorado Foundation, Chileno Bay Foundation, Los Cabos Children's Foundation, obviously International Community Foundation, coming up with what can we do to, first of all, let people know one of the big challenges coming down the road right now is nonprofits that have been operating here for years, how are they going to continue? And how can we facilitate that? And I think when the donors understand the issue, they are going to get involved again. So we're about ready to launch a new campaign to increase the level of money so we can give out grants, and that's what we're really working on. But the food security, it's going to continue. There's still a lot of unemployment here, and so
there was, you know, this is a thing too that people don't. I mean, maybe they realize that there's a reason why the Food Security Alliance was started over, you know, like 6 or 7 years ago. There's an issue with the lack of abundance of food, especially fresh, healthy food, to a large part of our underdeveloped, you know, area population. And so that issue existed before COVID and before this unemployment. So it's something that, you know, it's, I don't know, kind of near and dear to my heart that we get people fed. I think it's one of our basic human rights. And I'm so proud of what you guys did, your alliance, that you realized that and jumped on that. But it's not an overnight, you know, solution to this issue. You know, it's a community issue. We really have to attack this this need and this stisituation as a group, just like you have with the alliance. We need everyone involved and everyone a part of it. We still don't have a food bank in Los Cabos, and it's really critical that we find a way to develop that, because that's a really good, I mean, if you look at other communities that are dealing with this and how they're dealing with it, that's
absolutely
a big piece. Anyway.
Indeed. We need to take a commercial break.
Okay. All right. Well, Cynthia, please stick with us. We'll be right back. And we're taking a break. Everybody stay with us.
All right. Was that anything you needed?
Hold on. Oh my God. Now I can't find the recording button.
The recording?
So weird. It's 3, 2.
Welcome back to Cabomilnews and Community Update in English. We are with Cynthia Wickerink. I said it right again. How exciting.
2 for 2, Corey.
Yay. Claudia, why don't you take a couple questions here for Cynthia? I've taken over this interview
Thank
like
you.
I usually do, so I'm letting you speak.
It's fine. I'm used to it by now.
I know, it's terrible.
I just love it because you're passionate about the topic, and this is your life, so I think it's great.
It is.
So we were talking during the commercial break about the fact that in our community, as you mentioned, Cynthia, there's lots of non-for-profits, and ICF plays a very important role in vetting. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, that's one of the things that I was doing with ICF when I worked with them as a field representative is vetting the nonprofit organizations that would like to have accounts or work with a fiscal partner with ICF to be able to, for their donors to receive 501c3 status. And as we do that, we have to check into all of their official paperwork and make sure everything's in order and their boards and things like that.
And just to clarify, Cynthia, 501c3 status, just so everyone knows out there, that just means that's a tax code in the United States that means you can deduct the taxes for donations.
Yes. You can receive a tax receipt letter and you can use it as a deduction if you'd like to. Yep. So that's part of what ICF does, along with a lot of education and workshops and things like that to help these nonprofits. But I think it's I just want to say, obviously after everything I've said, how much getting involved in these organizations here in the community has enriched my life, and how, you don't have to your life doesn't have to become that, like mom and dad. But I just encourage people to see what you can do for the organizations that are around, and to guarantee that the organization you're working with has been vetted and someone you can trust and know that the funding and the work that's being done is legitimate and trustworthy. ICF puts together a guide every year. It's called the Bajacaliforniasur Giving Guide. They also have one for the North. Anyway, you can go to their website, icfdn.org, and you can go through all the different organizations. They're broken down to region. You've got La Paz and Todossantos in the East Cape and Los Cabos. Find out what kind of a group interests you. Some groups use more volunteers than others, but I really encourage people to check that out, to find out more about what's going on in the community. And like I said, it doesn't have to become your life, but it can, even a little bit, can enrich your life and really make you become a more connected with what this community is all about. Because I know the three of us are preaching to the choir about these types of things, but we all believe this community is exceptional when it comes to, we lived through Odile. When it comes to working together and giving back, and just, the heart that this community possesses is unlike anything I've ever known. So. Well,
and Cynthia, just I want to say one more thing about ICF, and then we're gonna wrap up the interview with you. But I think it's important that everyone knows, not only was ICF the first nonprofit that came here and helped, but in this community alliance, out of the 5.3 million we raised, they raised over half of it. So ICF, even more than that, I think it was probably, I don't have the exact number, but it was more than half came from ICF. And I think it's very important everyone knows that. And and just kudos to.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you for mentioning that, Corey, because it's, I'm so proud of the work that ICF does here, not just for humanitarian efforts like the food and the medical, but the amazing environmental work they do here, that they fill in that gap like no one else does. And we're all here because of how beautiful this place is and how beautiful the ocean is. So that's something that's near and dear to my heart also. Anyway, I could get on the ICF bandwagon,
You are.
and go on and on for everything that they're doing here. But anyway, yes, I'm very proud of all the affiliations that I've had in this community. I'm very proud to be a part of this community.
Well, our community is very fortunate to have you, Cynthia, who've been just tireless. I've seen you through the years.
There's so many people like
so
me
tireless.
but
we need leaders, and you're one of those, and we thank you for that, and thank you for your time. And any final thoughts that you want to leave us with?
Thank you for inviting me. Okay, do I stay now or do I go?
We have music, so you're
we
welcome
have music.
to
You're
stay.
welcome to stay and check it out.
Hola, Totoy.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Cynthia.
This is very nice.
Totoy, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good. Well, we're very excited to Claudia, please welcome Totoy to the program.
Hola, Totoy. How are you? Welcome, Totoy. Everybody that has been in Cabo for any amount of time knows Totoy and his band. They are at all the events that are worth being at, and we're very, very happy to have you here. So welcome. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, and also good to see people nowadays with through our cell phones and the new modality, right?
Yes, the new normal.
New normal.
Which is not so normal.
I know, we're getting used to it.
Cynthia said that she knew you. The moment I said, Totoy is going to we're going to be having some music with Totoy, she said, I know him.
We don't know each other personally, but I know of your music. I've heard such great things.
It's exactly what I said. It's like, if you've been here for any amount of time and have been to any good parties, you know of his music.
Absolutely.
Even as a guest, not as a musician.
Yeah.
I'm fond of parties.
Good.
That's great.
Tell us about your music.
Go ahead.
Well, it's funny because I don't consider myself as a musician per se, because I didn't study at a music school or anything. It's just I learned playing. I studied and graduated for business administration. I mean, like any other kid around that has a hobby with music and all that, and suddenly it became my profession, which is I consider very blessed, because I could do my hobby as a profession and make a living of it. And you gotta find your talent and go for it. And I nowadays, like I'm doing this for a living. Right now, it's hard times for everybody, and I appreciate this opportunity because what Cynthia mentioned, that we don't know each other personally, but they know what I do. So this is very important because music goes, transcends all the way and through the universe. It's a universal language. So I'm very happy for it.
Yeah, we know it's been difficult for musicians and artists. And one of the things that Claudia and I dedicated ourselves to when we started this program was to make sure we were highlighting the artists of Los Cabos and make sure to getting it out there. And we hope that you're coming back and performing now. I know some artists are performing more now again. And you usually perform, you have a 3-piece band, correct? Is that?
Yes, normally it's a 3-piece band. But originally I started by myself. That's why it's Totoy only. We don't have like a regular band name. Mm-hmm. I started with a drummer and a bass player, but I mean they were coming and going. back in the day, I just had 1 gig a week, and you know, for 100 pesos, they ditched me out, you know. So it was very hard to find like a base of a band, you know. And now with these guys that I'm playing, Ezequiel Alvarado and Beto Cantu, we've been together for over 8 years now. Luckily, they have I mean, music is the extra job. You know, they have day jobs, and they can, you know, they could support me while, you know, I'm having just 1 gig at a week. Now, there was a time when we had like full week, and we have 4 or 5 events, weddings or corporate events everywhere. But now it's really slow, and luckily they have another way to have an income, so they're not bothering me with payments. I'm the only one struggling here.
Well, why don't we hear some music? What do you think, Claudia? Should we have some? All right.
Let's listen to some of your music.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a cover that I really like to play and sing. I hope you like it too. It's from the Commodores.
Awesome.
Oh, great.
I don't know if you can hear the guitar well.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
No, sounds sorry, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. See you back, stolen, I borrow. Yeah, woo. That's why me say I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, that's why me say I'm easy like Sunday morning. I wanna be high, so high. I wanna be free to know the things I do right. I wanna be free, just free. Oh yeah. Swami said, I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, that's what me say. I'm easy like Sunday morning. It's hard to sing in the morning.
I can tell you. It sounded great, Totoy. Really nice. Thank you. So how do we get a hold of you, Totoy? How do people get a hold of you to hire you?
I'm gonna show off my guitar picks. I don't know if you can read, but this is my presentation card.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So when I'm playing, somebody people approach me and say, you have a card? So I give them a guitar pick. And here it's at totoymusic.com. That's my website. And my Instagram is Totoy Band.
Oh wow. Okay.
And on Facebook I'm as Totoy Castro. Actually, Totoy, it's a nickname. My name is Eduardo Castro. I'm from here, San Jose del Cabo. My parents were born and raised here. I'm like especie en extinción.
You're an endangered species.
An endangered species, a true troyero.
Yeah, but I'm really happy because having to do something that you love and people like it, I think it's a blessing. So I'm really happy for it. Nowadays, it's tough for everybody. I mean, I'm not sad because it's me. It's something that we cannot control, and well, I think we're very blessed that we're here, that we're healthy, and we have to look forward for the future, and be happy. I'm really happy that I play and I'm not doing that bad, and people like it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm very excited. I'm leaning over because I have to show you. This is my guitar.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not a great guitar player, but guess what I want? I want one of your picks. So I got to come find you.
Yeah, I don't know if I can mention where I'm playing, if that's allowed for the show.
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Everything's allowed at the show.
All right.
I don't think we have any rules.
Except bad words.
Yeah, no bad words.
No bad words.
Now we're playing Friday nights at Bar Esquina, 8 to 11 p.m.
Great.
And Monday nights at the office, 7 to 10.
Perfect.
Oh, great. So
right now, Bar Esquina we play as a trio, but at the office, because of the amount of people that it's allowed, we only come by a duet.
Okay.
But it's fun either way, and I mean, great places, great food, great ambience, and I'm also blessed because I play at places that I really like, and especially, I'm not getting paid for this, but I really love playing at Bar Esquina because there are the very few places that you are where the people is. Sometimes bands or musicians are like really, really in the back, and you don't see, it's hard to connect. And right there at the beginning, like people scared, they see a drum set and they see speakers and they say, "Oh my God, I don't want a concert. I just want to have dinner." But we play really like ambience music or ambience volume, and at the end of the night, people start dancing or having a good time. I think it's a teamwork, creating an experience wherever you go and see Totoy, because I consider myself as an entertainer. You want to make people happy and have a good time.
Well, Bar Esquina and The Office are two of my favorite places. And I know Lee Vosberg usually is watching this show, so maybe he's going to be slipping some extra money here at Totoy for
the plug.
It works.
But I really like, go out to Bar Esquina and The Office. Everyone should go out and see you again. Remind us again, when do you play?
Friday nights at Bar Esquina, 8 to 11. Monday nights, the office, 7 to 10.
All right, we'll make sure we put that on the Facebook page. And
if you want to get married or remarried or bar mitzvah or whatever, you can hire us.
Can we hire you for a divorce?
Yeah.
Or only for marriage? Okay, great.
Any party.
A divorce party.
Any party.
A divorce party. Okay, well, can we get another song? We've got a few more minutes. It'd be great to have another song from you.
Perfect. Well, this song I really like. The minute I heard it back in the day when I was at junior high, like it was like amazing for me, and I always love playing, and my bandmates they really like hate when I do it because you always play that song. It's like I love that song. So what's the name of the band? Totoy. So you better So here goes. Today's gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should somehow realize what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do. But now, I'm sure you've been it all before, but you never really had it down. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lines lead there are blinding. And there are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I don't know how, yeah, 'cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder one. Today was gonna be the day, but they'll never throw it back to you. By now, I should somehow realize what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And on the road we have to walk the winding, and all the lights lead us there blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I don't know how, yeah, 'cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I think that's one of my all-time favorite songs, and you know, it reminds me a lot of my good old days in school, you know. And
Absolutely.
it's been more than 20 years, so I can't believe that time goes by so fast, and music brings you to those moments and stick with you forever. So it's great.
No, absolutely. What a great song. I love that song too. And it takes me back. And I mean, I'm really sad that you just said that was 20 years ago, because that means I'm 20 years older too.
Or more.
I know, or more. Thanks a lot, Totoy. Well,
okay. Can you erase that?
We'll try to erase it. I don't know. But they can't erase our face when they're seeing us. So I guess that's the telltale sign. Hey, Totoy, thank you so much for being on the show today. Any last thoughts from you? And we really appreciate you coming on and sharing your music. And oh, we got you on mute. You're on mute, Totoy.
On mute.
You're on mute, Totoy. Oh. No, he's still on mute.
He's still on mute. He's talking a lot. Yeah, he has a lot to say.
You're on mute, Totoy. Oh. Uh-oh.
I don't think he can hear us.
Something just happened there. Oh, there he is.
There.
No, he's not back yet. Well, we lost Totoy, but he just said a lot of things. I don't know if you can translate, Claudia, but could you read lips?
No. I can translate English to Spanish, but other than that,
you can do a lot. You can translate a lot.
I'm gonna do like the Forrest Gump movie.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that.
Well, Totoy, you have about a minute and a half to say all the things you just said. Any last thoughts? We'll just go back and ask you that again.
Well, you know what? I had it was a phone call because I'm hearing the phone, so the audio must be.
Okay.
But you know, I'm happy that what I'm doing connects with other people, and I think for like an advice or a tip for people wanting to do or follow their dreams, just go for it. If you're thinking in money or you're thinking on success, I think that will come in time. You have to work for it. Even if you're a doctor, if you're a mechanic or whatever, if you do it with passion and you do it with love, things will come out.
Great words to end on. Totoy, thank you for being with us today. We really appreciate it. Great. Thank you for sharing your heart, your music. And we are going to take a break. We will be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Okay.
Thank you, Totoy.
Thank you.
3, 2.
Welcome back to Cabo Mil News and Community Update in English. Claudia, what a great show today.
Yes, great energy. We're instituting the couch thing. People will just have to stay on for the duration.
If you go to Facebook Live and watch the show, we talked about how now our show is more like the Johnny Carson show, and I think a lot of our audience remember Johnny Carson. Remember how Ed McMahon would be on the couch, and each guest would come out, and Ed McMahon would move over, and the guest would move over, and then the new guest would come sit on the little chair. So Cynthia stayed with us the whole time, and we love that. So we're gonna institute that.
You're welcome. Clearly, I have nothing else to do right now. I told you I'm retired.
We just want to thank you for being on the show today, and Totoy had some great music, and it was an amazing program. We're looking forward to having some interesting programs coming up. We're looking to have a dog trainer on and I'm going to bring Charlie on the program. Claudia's going to bring her cat. We'll have a whole animal show, and hopefully the dialogue from the animals won't be more interested than our dialogue. So we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, that's a whole nother story. Well, I just want to thank you guys for what you're doing. I think, the more we can connect with each other and share is so important, about this community. And I just want to say, I just feel so blessed to be writing these uncertain times out in such a beautiful community. I mean, not just the people, but visually, to be in such a beautiful space and do this. I feel really, really super fortunate to be here. And
Los Cabos is definitely the best place to be right now and for the future. So it's a great. Thank you, Cynthia. And Claudia, please give us a summary of what happened today in Spanish.
El día de hoy contamos con la presencia de Cynthia Wickerink, ay Dios mío, quien nos habló de su experiencia en Los Cabos como parte de Liga MAC y después de ICF. También tuvimos la presencia de Totoy, quien nos compartió algo de su música y compartimos un poco de las noticias relevantes de la semana. No se olviden de seguirnos en Facebook, cabomilnews, y ahí pueden encontrar el contenido completo de este programa.
Thank you, Claudia, and always follow us on Facebook Live at Cabo Mil News. You can get all the important information. We have interviews coming up with important business leaders, people in the nonprofit, other interesting topics that are relevant to you and to the community here in Los Cabos. Stick with us. You can follow us on Cabo Mil News and also at 96.3 FM, Cabo Mil on Sundays at 6 p.m. Claudia, thank you for another great show. And everybody have a great week.
Catch you next time.